Hi everyone, it's Rita. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm an Akashic record reader and accessor. I just did a little video on our membership group that's meeting once a week where we get guidance on how to thrive and be happy, and we can ask a lot of questions in the Akash, right? But I wanted to tell you a story. So yesterday was my Earthday celebration. It was the day I picked to join this planet. And I lined up everything as best I could because I've got a little Virgo in me and I wanted to make it perfect. So my planets actually line up with what the Earth is experiencing. So when they talk about this is the year for this or that, or this is happening, or I have like these fortunate days, they usually coincide with stuff going on here that feels important, and it just all feels good. You know, I really feel like I chose to be here. And I've been here many, many, many times, and I've been off planet many, many, many times. And there's so much joy and the ability to create, and we're entering this beautiful Renaissance period. So understand the I ams, understand the importance of that, and understand our connection to the unseen. I started a film project that I'm calling The Revelation of You. And I really want it to be almost revelation of you remembering your power and who you are, and that you can connect to these unseen energies that move around you. I can still get an energetic hug from my mom who's deceased. But I want to tell you about my Earth Day celebration yesterday. So I went with friends, and you know how they'll bring you, in the United States, they bring you a complimentary dessert if they find out it's your birthday. And of course my friends told them it was my birthday, right? So she brings this like kind of layered cake with some, like these 2 pieces of cake with Cool Whip or whatever, you know, and strawberries, whipped cream, I guess, or whatever it is. And I'm not a big dessert person. I mean, I love chocolate, like organic, you know, like no sugar added, real chocolate. Anyway, so this cake comes, right? And so I was like, oh, that's so nice. And my mother, who's deceased, right? She was famous for her pound cake that she would make from scratch, where she used like, I don't know, a dozen sticks of butter and sugar. And, you know, when she was making it, she made it all day, and she didn't want anyone in the kitchen. And, you know, the butter had to be the right temperature, you know, and God forbid you'd walk in the house when it was in the oven and make a noise, and it would fall and not have the perfect crust on it. So, anyway, so we'd kind of been talking about this a little bit because my friend Sally was going to make one for her daughter, and she thought I knew how to make it. And she had my mother's pound cake. You know, everyone had it, you know. It's always there for special occasions, and when my mom wanted to spoil people, and she loves spoiling people. So anyway, so we're at the restaurant, and this woman brings out this cake, you know, with this nice candle on it, you know, and I blow it out, and then I taste it, right? And I was like, oh my God, this is pound cake. And it had a hint, it was delicious, and it had a hint of lemon in it, just like my mother would have made. And so I sat in reverence and appreciation for this knowing, right? And the connections, because they're always there. The unseen are always trying to make connections with you. And then I asked the waitress, I said, did they tell you? Because I just had this talk with Sally like the week before, and she's like, so what I said to her was, the waitress, I said, how did you pick this cake? And she said, well, it's not on the menu. And she said, but the chef will put together for special occasions a dessert. You know, if somebody says, oh, it's our anniversary or whatever, or birthday, and bring out something. And so I was just like, that is so cool. You know, I heard the same story one time. I was in church. I went to attended this church kind of out of the blue in DC, in Washington, DC, where I'm from. And it was right around Easter, and the minister had said he went to get flowers for this service, like special flowers. And he said, and they have all these yellow roses, and I'd been missing my grandmother, and yellow roses were her favorite. And so sitting there in awe, like looking at the yellow roses and just feeling this connection with my grandmother who's passed, right? I was very close to. And he said he had all these flowers to pick from, him, but something kept nudging him towards the yellow roses. So I just want you to understand or feel and know that these unseen energies are always supporting you, these deceased family members, and you see that in the filming. We're actually looking for a really cool production team to do a little more filming with us, because the other thing I've noticed in our filming is we can create and engage with unseen energies with intention. And you see them show up in these photos of the field and stuff. So anyway, know they're there. If you're grieving somebody who's passed, know they're there. They wait for you, especially to get to a higher vibration place where they can connect with you. So grieving's really, really important when somebody passes. I spent a year grieving my mother's death, and my guides told me to put a piece of paper with mom written on it at the foot of my bed. And every time I saw it, I was to think of my mom and cathartically feel the pain of that loss that would sometimes take me to my knees. And for those that are in that situation, you understand that. And for those that don't grieve well, which I've had that experience as well, you tend to self-medicate. You tend to drink a lot or over-exercise or overwork, to push the ability to be still. It could be loss of childhood too, these things. So I've learned to cathartically release that, and I know what works for me. And I know everyone's different, but sometimes you just need a frame of reference on how to do stuff. And so that's why I'll share what has worked well for me, was every day intentionally thinking of the person that was passed, and then feeling the pain of that, crying and really feeling it. And it's because it's energy, it's trapped energy, and you're an energetic being. I have a very close relationship with Jesus, and he's always like, and in the book, I just did a book proposal for Hay House, and I just channeled a children's book on energy. So that is, I'm gonna get, I don't know if I'll get an offer or anything from Hay House, but I was able to do the book proposal, which was pretty involved, and I felt really good about that. So if you're working on a book proposal and things like that, they had a really good layout. There's another guy I follow on TikTok, and maybe I'll tag him here, because he's a kind of a book guru. I think he helps people with their books as well. So, or maybe he's just promoting his own book. But anyway, in the book, what I sometimes I get a little sidetracked, but in the book, I talk about how, we're energy. When we can really understand, like, these people that do energy work, these psychologists, they do energy psychology or somatic experiencing. That is all about the energy of the body and releasing it. Peter wrote this book on releasing it, where it's, the book is something like Waking the Tiger, because like when animals get attacked by other animals, they will get up and shake, like the gazelle that gets free from the cheetah or whatever. So it's all energy. So sometimes if you're in a situation where you've had an experience, car accident, whatever, just shake. It actually really helps. So anyway, hope you're having a great day. I wanted to share the story about my mom and the pound cake, and it was delicious. Thanks, Mom.